Hello, everyone. It has been a while. As you may have been able to tell, I have not been uploading on this channel for a while, and that's just due to a number of things. I just couldn't really bring myself to record videos with my schedule and with me wanting to and not really successfully focusing on my main channel. But now that I'm out of school for the semester, I now have more time to actually record and make videos. And the first video that I want to make is, well, this. As you can read from the title, I just finished my run at, well, not just, but today I finished my run of BCS Houston, and you might be thinking, Joseph, you didn't top, why are you making a list like this? And it's for a few reasons. One, at least I feel like I'm a much better player than I was back when I made those first few videos of this deck, as well as I have just played a lot more games of this deck and have made a handful of changes since my last version of this deck. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, shall we? So, ride deck. Of course, grade 0 Lascaria. This can be literally any of the grade 0 Stoicheas, and it would be the same thing, because the only time that it changes is, of course, with the grade 1 and the grade 2. So, grade 1 Lascaria. Days of Trending Lascaria. Auto when this unit is rolled upon by a grade 2 card with Lascaria in its card name. Search your deck for up to one grade 2 or greater Blitz order without Regulus piece, reveal it, put it to your hand, and then shuffle the deck. So, of course, you are once again always going to get copies of Dreamblade, because this is the main card in the deck. Originally, I was like, oh, if you have Dreamblade, then yeah, maybe you can go for one of your other Blitz orders. No. After playing more games of this deck, you always get Dreamblade. Nothing else matters. You need to get Dreamblades into your hand so you can continuously use it. Grade 2 Lascaria, Oath upon a Mother's Sword. When this unit is rolled upon by grade 3 with Lascaria in its card name, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to one normal unit with Veleno in its card name, or up to one Blitz order from among them, reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle the deck. This is where you're going to be getting your pieces. Unless you really need another Blitz order, you will almost never want to get a Blitz order. You will want to get your pieces. So your Araphuses, your Grudoris, and your Fiors. If you see a Melial and that's the only thing you can get, sure. But if it's between a Melial and a Blitz order, you get a Blitz order. Otherwise, the first priority is Araphus. If you already have like one or two Araphuses, then you get the Grudolis, then you can get the Fiors. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, just get Araphus. You want to have 2 in hand by the time you get to your grade 3 turn, so that way if you're able to commit the resources, you can do double Araphus starting from turn 3. Oh, I accidentally changed that out. Oh no, let's go ahead and fix that right now. Very scuffed, huh? Yeah. You and you. There we go. And then grade 3 Lascaria, Sword Princess of Dreamblade. So, continuous on Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you have 3 or more units with Veleno in their card names, all your units with Veleno in their card names get power plus 5,000. If you have 5 or more and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets critical plus 1. So, as opposed to my other versions of the deck, every single normal unit in this deck, aside from these 2 right here, are your names. So, this does a few things with the math. 1, by the time you hit grade 3, you will have at least 3 every single time. There are going to be games where you're at 5 and you're able to just get that high roll and be able to apply that extra crit pressure as soon as you hit your first grade 3 turn if you go second. Otherwise, it will be on your second grade 3 turn, so then you will have your Persona ride as well. Following that, she also has the ability, Auto on Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, your unit was attacked and was not hit. If you played a Blitz order that battle, draw a card, and if you did not countercharge this turn, you countercharge 1. So once again, the entire main reason why I really love this deck is because it's card draw in your ride line and it's countercharge in your ride line, which just allows us to do so many cool things with choices in the main deck. So once again, that's a ride deck. That's the entire reason. Grade 0 can be literally out of grade 0 and it will not matter at all. In the main deck, of course, we're running 3 more copies of Lascaria because she's our main grade 3, want to be able to Persona ride. running 4 copies of Erafus because he's our main attacker, main attacks extender. What basically the best card in our deck. Well, second best card in the deck. It's debatable between Erafus and Dreamblade, but I'll get to that in a little bit. You may notice in my grade 3 lineup, I cut all of that bug dragon, whatever her name was. I forget. I did this almost immediately. The next locals after I posted my first version of the deck. She's just not good. I don't know why I put her in at 2 copies and cut other cards. She's bad. Don't play her. Just don't. You could use that counterblast on a second Erafus. You can put literally any other card in the deck. And I did. I put 1 copy of Margaret and 1 copy of the Serum Brave Shooter. So Margaret was in here specifically for the Leonore matchup, of which I only played 1. So Margaret is here, 1. The cycling is good, being able to dig us deeper into our deck just so we're able to draw pieces. We are a little bit tight on Soul, which is why I am running the Soul Charging crits, but we'll get to that when we go over our trigger lineup. So just the 1 is fine, because we really want to be using our Soul with Grudoli, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, the cycling is fine. If we draw into it, then yeah, in any other matchup, we just use her as a cycler. But specifically in the Vivace matchup, we use her for her stun skill. So that way, the Vivace player has to commit more cards from hand onto board. Otherwise, they just are stuck with some stunned rear guards, and it's also good in other matchups too. It came up once today against a Shoujo Doji player, but then they just sent it to Soul and was able to fix itself from there. I lost that I lost that game, by the way, as you couldn't tell. I should have tested more against Shoujo Doji, but it's fine. Zero Brave Shooter, once again, is just another cycler, but this one is Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 instead of Soul Blasting and putting to bottom of the deck. His second ability here is fine. It lets us replace one of our well, not replace it. Let's just get one of our Blitz Orders back to hand. So it's a way for us to recycle our Blitz Orders, or one of our other names if we need to. But once again, he's not really here for that. He's here as like a last means effort because of cards like Cicada, which he's fine. He's good. I grew to love Cicada, but we'll talk about him later. Also in the grade 2 lineup, I cut down the Melials to 2 copies. She's an okay card, once again allowing us to recycle pieces, but I didn't want to see her too much. The grade 2 card that I really wanted to see every single game, and I did see every single game, was Grudori. So Grudori is a fantastic card, and I've grown to love this card so much more than in my other versions of the deck. So, if you don't know what Grudoli does, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lascaria in its card name, you Soul Blast 2, choose a card with Veleno in its card name from your drop, grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, and you call it to rearguard circle. Continuous on rearguard circle during your turn. If you have 3 or more units with Veleno in their card names, this unit gets boost and power plus 5,000. So he's a 15,000 booster, 20,000 booster on our grade 3 turn, which is absolutely fantastic. Once again, he's also just you can use him early game too as like an interceptor if you really need to, but you really shouldn't. You should be saving him for your grade 3 turns. That way he's that 20k booster, which makes absolutely insane numbers. Once again, also, a common line of play that I would do is if I opened Erafus and a Grudori, or if I drew into one of the other one while only having one of them in the early games, going into either grade 3 on the grade 3 turns, I would pitch Erafus to ride deck, call Grudoli, get the Erafus back, making my ride up basically free. It just costs 2 soul, which honestly in this set, we're not using soul for anything else in the deck. Now you might see Sweet Honey Garden, sure, sometimes that comes up a little bit, and once again, the cycling maybe in other matchups. But yeah, once again, this is the main way we're using our soul in the deck, because we don't really need to use soul in most any other ways. Sometimes it comes up, but like once again, we're only really using the Grudoli Soul Blast effect maybe once a game. Sometimes twice if we really need to. In the grade 1 lineup, we have Fior. Fior is a very good card. in my opinion, being a 15k booster on your grade 3 turns, as well as being a either 10k booster or a 10k attacker on your other turns as well. So that's why I'm running her at 4. She's just a good card to have, allowing you to push a little bit of aggro in the early game if you need to, or once again, being able to search out pieces with her first skill as you counterblast 1, look at top 5, and choose a Veleno or a Blitz Order, put it into their hand, and shuffle the deck. So yeah, that's why I'm running her at 4. Finally, in the grade 1 lineup, we have Cicada. This card, I don't know how I missed this card and did not put him in my other decks, because this is an absolutely incredible effect. At the end of your turn, if you have 5 or more units of Veleno in their card names, you counterblast 1 and put this unit on the bottom of your deck and choose up to 2 Blitz Orders from your drop, put them into their hand. It is the best form of recycling we have in the deck, but we really only need to resolve this effect maybe once in a game, so I'm only really running him at 3. You could cut this down to 2, maybe, and maybe, I guess, put in a second one of the machine gun, or third one of the machine gun, but I prefer to have the extra bodies for, so I can check for Veleno names. But yeah, he's good card, better than the grade 3 insect dragon, but that's fine. Defensive options, running 3 PGs, of course, 1 Sanctitude because it has inherent synergy with our deck, being a Blitz Order. In the other Blitz Order lineup, we, of course, running 4 copies of Effervescent Dreamblade. You Energy Blast 2 to play this card, choose a unit being attacked, and it gets power plus 20,000 till the end of that battle. You can play 1 more Blitz Order this turn, and of course that stacks. So each time you play another one of these, you can play another Blitz Order that turn. This is the main reason the deck actually works the way it does. It is, once, like I said, arguably the best card in our deck aside from Eraphus. I cut down the copies of Sweet Honey Garden from 2 to 1 because I wanted to play Impact Seed Machine Gun, which is, well, sure hit kill seed machine gun. I don't know why that was so hard to say. I have the actual cards on my desk right here. So this is a completely new card for the deck. It's, as we can see, you play this card with counter plus 1, choose 1 of your units being attacked, and it gets power plus 10,000 until the end of that battle. Then you choose 1 of your vanguards, and it gets auto on Vanguard Circle. When your opponent's front row unit stands, or your opponent's unit is placed on a front row rearguard circle, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of turn. This card is incredible, this format, and also going forward, I think it is, once again, an auto inclusion in a Lascaria deck, because of just the utility of the effect that it gives to the Vanguard. Against Shoujo Doji, when they call from Bind, you instantly get plus 10k, so you go from a 13k body to a 23k body, making the attacks a lot easier to guard. Against Leonorn, for example, when they boost and then restand and then boost, you are getting 20k. And then when they stand 2 more, you're getting another 10k, so that's already 30k, making those numbers all easy to guard as well. Along with that, literally, basically every deck in the format right now, Machine Gun gives you absolutely insane defensive value for just 1 counterblast. And I would like to run 3 copies of this card, but I can't because of the counterblast math. Like, Eraphus is a counterblast sink, and we need to use his effect to get our multi-attacks. So I'm running Machine Gun at 2 and having the 3rd extra Blitz Order be Sweet Honey Garden still, because sometimes it'll come up. The 25k shield is not a joke. And then finally, once again, my tech card is Evergreen Transfer. I go about this in some of the other decks. I'm not running Ladder because I don't like Ladder in this deck, as it just kind of feels really bad. And what you can do with Transfer is you can hold the Transfer for when they check, if they check OT on a perfect guard, and then you can use this to neuter the rear guard OT, or the Vanguard OT if they're playing Drag Veda. Along with that, you can just also pitch this to a PG or something, so that way you can keep your other cards. And yeah, so Transfer is my tech. This can be ladder, but I prefer Transfer just for that innate synergy being a blitz order. Now, in the trigger lineups, I ran 4 vanilla crits, 4 soul charge crit once again because we have an issue with soul in this deck. So if we need that extra soul for a turn later or for the opponent's next turn, we call this and then soul charge it. I replace my front triggers with draw triggers because yes, we are drawing. We are cantripping and drawing cards off of our blitz orders. It is very important that we draw into our pieces, and having 10k shields in my testing was quite nice because there's no other way to do 10k guards except for committing 2 cards from hand, which I just would prefer to only commit 1 card. For heals, I'm still running 2 grade heals and then 2 regular heals. I still fear the Stride deck sets a little bit more than I fear Shoujo Doji, but you honestly should fear Shoujo Doji a lot more. And especially, you also need to really fear Varga. Varga is, in my opinion, this deck's worst matchup because of that front row retire. We can't really do a lot against that. And that was like Shoujo Doji and Varga were my 2 actual losses. This BCS, I lost in time against Rezael. Time was called on the round, and I just lost. Basically, we rolled off to see who would concede, and he won the roll off, so he won that in time. And I'm running the blue OT, because the blue OT is another way to recycle blitz orders or pieces. And once again, it also gives crit pressure. So it's a fine enough card. I prefer this over the Starkea one. The Starkea one can be used. I just prefer blue OT, so that way I can get blitz orders back to my hand or pieces back to my hand. So that's basically everything that I've changed about this deck. I am very happy with my performance, though. Going X3 is very sad, but you know, it's more things to learn about actually going to a BCS, because this is my only second ever BCS that I'm going to, or that I went to, and it was fun. It was very fun. I had a great time. Thank you to all my opponents who I played, whose names I'm forgetting, but I will see you all next time with more Vanguard content. I have more deck lists that I want to talk about coming down the pipeline, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.